Hello, hello. Welcome to another Tarot Tuesday. My favorite day of the week. Always happy that it's Tuesday. Tarot Tuesday has definitely taken this pretty forgettable date. Whoever really thinks about Tuesdays, you know? Like, there's the weekend, which is great. Oh, also, I gotta do my wrist stretches while I talk. Also, hello, Adane. But yeah, there's the weekend. Great. Everyone loves the weekend. Unless you're like service industry, in which case, you're probably working the weekend and brunch is horrible. But yeah, the weekend, great. Mondays, not so great, but you still think about them. You're just like, oh man, it's Monday. I'm Garfield. I hate Mondays. I don't want to go back to work. I have to wake up early again. Wednesday, it's hump day. Middle of the week, like you're halfway there. You're living on a prayer. It's pretty. It's a good time to like just remind yourself, like, all right, almost there. Fridays, we love Friday. Rebecca Black wrote a whole song about it. And the remix, they're like the new version that she put out recently, if you haven't seen it, like, it's pretty great. I love how she, like, came back from, the whole debacle of when it was first released, and she's just like, yeah, no, I've made this good now. And then you're back to the weekend again. Tuesdays and Thursdays, who really thinks about them? They're just sort of floating there. They're filler days most of the time. But now we've got Tarot Tuesday. And now Tuesdays are fun and I look forward to them. And I love Tuesdays now, is what I'm trying to say. Also, oh my god, my fingers, I don't know if I can get the camera to focus on them. Will you focus? No, it's not going to focus. But I've been doing so much stained glass work recently, and I'm really accident prone. My fingertips are so shredded that my phone no longer recognizes my fingerprints. Also, yay, Gin Fizz! Thanks for the subs! I love you so much! Yeah, I think Jin, you're really gonna like today's stream. I definitely like thought of you a lot with one of the cards that I selected for today. But yeah, my fingers just torn to shreds. My phone no longer recognizes my fingers as being fingers. But that's actually been fine because I'm trying to use my phone less these days. I'm trying to like keep my phone in another room of the house rather than my office so that I'm not looking at it all the time. And wow, surprise, surprise, I've been getting a lot more work done and I've been spending a lot less time browsing social media in a haze of doom scrolling. So yeah, I kind of highly recommend that. I'm like letting my phone run out of battery on purpose just so that I can't check it. It gets kind of bad, Oof. Just this thumb muscle right down here can get so stiff. Oh, I just gotta work that out. Just gotta work that out. Lightly pulling on the fingers. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to spend less time on my phone. So if you like tweet at me or something and I seem to ignore it, or send me a message of any kind, just know that I am trying to just be a little bit less constantly connected. I'm trying to be on the internet with a bit more intention and be there with a purpose. Because I've also, I've got a lot of work to do these days. I'm almost done with book 4 of Spectacle, which is the penultimate book. There's only one more book after this, because it's a 5-book series and always has planned to be. From the get-go, it was always going to be a 5-book series. And yeah, I'm almost done with the fourth book. I can't believe that soon I'm going to be writing the final book and then drawing the final book. Um, it's been like considering all the time that I spent like first working on it as a novel, that I decided to, after a while, no, this should be a comic book. But it's been 10 years of working on this story, and it's been 6 years of working on it as a comic. So it's pretty wild to be basically 80% of the way through it. But that's what I've been working on the past couple of weeks. Oh, also, hair update. I don't know how well you can see it, but I did dye my hair to match egg. I actually did it after I did that drawing stream where I drew egg as a person. I was like, oh, that hair looks really cute. And so, yeah, I did, it goes from a fade from white down into gray, like her little tail and her little feet that, she's got like white legs and then little gray booties. And then, yeah, also did the sides gray, like her little ears. And like, it's the exact same color. I like put my hair up next to her fur and we match exactly now. So now when people look at us, they will know that we are related and that she is my biological daughter. I didn't give birth to her. Alex did. Yeah, she's my daughter, and now we look related. Isn't that what everyone really wants, is to look like their pets or have pets? You want your kids to look like you maybe a little bit, and now I've got that. I've got a daughter that looks like me. And also we got an air fryer this week, and everyone that I've been telling this to is just like, oh, congratulations on your new baby. We're like, thank you. We've been expecting it for a long time. We're very excited to get to know this new baby. I love my air fryer. I love my cat. I love Tuesdays. But yeah, all right. Do a little shakeout. And yeah, let's draw some tarot cards today. Also, got a little bit of coffee today, so I'm also a little bit more hyper than usual. All right. So today I'm going to do the Three of Swords and also the Three of Pentacles. And also, hello, welcome. Glad you're here. I'm so happy you're all here. This stream really, especially the Three of Pentacles, is really like dedicated to y'all. This is like very much, once I get to explaining that one, you'll kind of see how it relates to like you guys. But I wanted to start with the Three of Swords because it's going to be similar to the Ace of Pentacles, where it's going to be a little bit of a simpler design, one that I don't have to take 3.5 hours to do. So it seemed like a good one to have as sort of like in addition to another card. And I wanted to do the Three of Swords now before, things are starting to open up a little bit now. Like people are getting vaccinated, the infection levels are going down, it's getting warmer outside, so people can like hang out socially distance in the park again, which I have been missing. Like just being able to hang out with a friend across from each other in the park was how I just got through most of last year. And I got like my window, I keep looking off in this direction because like I've got the window open for the first time in months and got some like fresh air and natural sunlight coming in on my face for the first time in forever. But yeah, so things are starting to open up again, and who knows, maybe I'll start going on dates again. And potentially getting my heart broken again. And I wanted to do, because the Three of Swords is all about heartbreak and disappointment And I'm currently not experiencing those things. And I feel like trying to draw this card, if I was experiencing those things, would just be way too emotional. So I want to get this over with now before I have any sort of like recent heartbreak to make me feel like, while I'm drawing it. Because it is just, yeah, it's all about disappointment and sadness and heartbreak. But it's also a really pretty card, and it's gonna make for some fun, you know, imagery. And I'll get to draw swords, which I've gotten a lot better at drawing swords because we watched basically all of Forged in Fire during the pandemic, and it's all about just, it's like Chopped, but they're making swords instead of food and like knives and stuff, and it's enthralling. I went from like watching the show ironically to make fun of Alex for watching it to like, oh my god, I fucking love this show. Why isn't there a new episode every single day for me to watch? It is such a good show. And we just like binge watched all of it, and now we've run out. But yeah, if you haven't seen Forged in Fire, watch Forged in Fire, because it is at its heart, it's a crafting show. It's one of those you know, art forms essentially that is very much like a physical kind of art form. The line between like arts and crafts is not really so much a line as it is kind of a gradient. Some things might fall more to the art side or more to the craft side. But I think all art involves a certain amount of craft, and all craft involves a certain amount of art. But yeah, metalworking usually falls a little bit more on the craft side, but there's definitely an art to it if you want it to be, and it's just really great to watch. I also just watched that what's it called, Blown Away on Netflix, which is like another like competition show, but it's all like glass blowing. It was all right. I thought it was really cheesy at times, kind of hokey sometimes, but it was fun to watch while I was doing my own glass work, even though I do stained glass rather than blown glass. Thinking about how much I have injured my hands just working with like not boiling hot, like just room temperature glass. I can't imagine how many more injuries I would do to myself if the glass I was working with was also 2000 degrees. Yeah, it's not, Forge and Fire is not my craft. Although Alex wants to start taking up blacksmithing now, just like amateur. Once we're hoping to move sometime in the next couple years, and hopefully we'll have a garage and he can put a little garage forge out there. Which I'm excited. I'm just gonna make him make me a bunch of really great kitchen knives and stuff. I have one good knife. I have one good knife in my kitchen, and I use it for everything, but I sure do wish that I had more than one knife sometimes. All right. So, getting down to drawing. So I actually did, before I decided to do this as, you know, a Twitch series, and I was just working on, I was just like, I'm just going to draw a bunch of cards and see what happens. I sort of did, an attempt at the Three of Swords, which was, I'll show you my first attempt. Are you going to open? Yeah. So this was my first attempt. Basically just, it was lazy, because it was like this heart right here, is just the one that I drew for, my Twitch theme. Like, and I was just going to be lazy and use that same art and just put a bunch of swords in it. And I ended up being, well, just not liking it. And I put it aside for a while before I decided to do this series, and just kind of started from scratch with everything. But I think rather than like the anatomical heart as cool as much as I love drawing anatomical hearts, which I do. I love drawing like guts and stuff, and like a lot of, you know, body parts and stuff. But I think I would prefer to go with the more like Valentine heart for this. Um, so yeah, let's also, as usual, let's take a look at the when I say like original card, I do mean the Rider-Waite card, but it's you know, sort of what everyone's basing their uh idea of it off of. It's sort of the, I guess I'd say classic rather than necessarily original, because tarot did exist before Rider-Waite. Oh man, I want someone to do like a tattoo art themed tarot deck and call it the Ride or Die tarot deck. Because a lot of times you get like Ride or Die. Oh no, it's Hate or Die that they put on. Is it? Well, I had a joke there, and it's because my brain got confused about words and things. Um, Ignore that. But yeah, so here's, oh, it's very tiny. It's very tiny. But yeah. Three of Swords. We got ourselves a Valentine heart. 3 swords in it. Clouds raining behind it, kind of symbolizing like tears. The raindrops are supposed to symbolize tears because you're sad and you're crying because of heartbreak. Your heart is, you've been stabbed through the heart 3 times by one love. One love makes it feel like 3 swords in your heart. But I wanted to do a little bit, not enough chicky nugs, like in our house or in the are you saying your heartbreak is caused by not having enough chicky nugs? Because I do feel that for sure. Yeah, sometimes you open the freezer and there's not enough chicky nugs in there, especially when you just bought an air fryer and you want to just use it every day, and you want to put chicky nugs in there, especially if they're dinosaur shaped. Yeah, I want chicky nugs now, and we don't have any of any sort of shape. So that's, now I do feel heartbroken, and I'm gonna take that heartbreak and I'm gonna put it into this work. Yeah. I wanted to focus a little bit more on the like crying aspect of it. So I wanted to put an eyeball in there and actually maybe have the heart be like a heart-shaped pupil that has the swords going into that, and then the eye sort of crying from there. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to get those proportions the way I want it to in the space that I have. So what this is gonna read. Like I have this idea. Should I make it like a round iris and then a heart-shaped pupil? Maybe? I just worry about making the heart shape so small that it doesn't really show up. But I love drawing eyeballs a lot. I love eyes and hands. I have like a lot of eyeball-shaped earrings. Oh, I should have worn, I've got this shirt that's like made all out of sequins, and it has this big like sequin eyeball on the front. That would have been really cute to wear today. And then like tears sort of welling up and pouring down from this eye. eyelash action in there. And then have, you know, some swords sticking out of it. I'm so glad I watched Forge and Fire, and now I know how to draw swords. I used to be so bad at drawing them. Oh, nice! Dapper, you're 6 followers away from hitting affiliate? That's awesome. Yeah, everyone go follow Dapper Cadaver. My partner who, you know, when we were Ghostalarian, he was the other half, and he, you know, struck out on his own because he just has a different sort of idea for what he wants to do with things. So we split off into our own thing. But yeah, I think this is pretty good. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller actually, because I don't want the sword to get in the way of the 3. And I want it to be fairly symmetrical, not like perfect symmetry, but you know, fairly there. Oh yeah, Dapper, you're gonna start streaming D&D sessions, which is awesome. I still gotta work more on the tabletop game that I've been putting together, because I know some of you were interested in play testing it, and I am interested in having some people play test it, because I had this idea in my head, but I gotta make sure that, you know, it actually works. So yeah, this is gonna be pretty good, I think. Pretty simple, but also, you know, pretty dramatic. Save that before I... Yeah. Simple, dramatic, similar enough to the classic card, while being different enough to be its own thing, which is what I'm always trying to go for with these. I'm never trying to, you know, directly copy what's come before and find, you know, a spin or a twist on it while still being recognizable as what it's supposed to be. I don't want someone to, like, turn over a card and not know which one it is unless they, like, I want to be able to, like, cover up, I want someone to be able to cover up the words at the bottom and still know what this is. So I'm pretty sure someone would look at this and be like, oh yeah, that's the 3 of Swords. I mean, for one thing, there's 3 swords in it. That's kind of a little bit of a giveaway right there. But, you know, maybe you can't count. You can read, but you can't count. And you're just like, I don't know how many swords are in there, but there's swords in a heart, so that's probably the 3 of Swords. Anyway, sketch is done, because this is a pretty simple one. How many swords? Who knows? Who knows? It's a puzzle. The answer key is in the back. You gotta flip this stream upside down, and there will be the answer key. So, but you gotta wait till the end, and then you can flip it upside down. Anyways. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna do the outline of the eye in black, but I'm gonna make the eyelashes white. Because again, I'm always trying to add some, like, white line art to go with the white line of a frame that I have on these cards. And I think that'll also be just visually striking. Also, yes, the idea of a bizarro Sesame Street where they use swords to practice counting. Molest, I think you could pull that off. I could see you hosting that children's television show. Also, just like all non-binary people have the energy of a really weird, bizarro world children's TV host. That's just the energy that all of us have. But more or less you especially, I think. So oops, drawing on my sketch layer. Part of why I like to, you know, make the sketch transparent is so that, you know, if I start drawing, I'm like, oh, that's gray. Why is it gray? Oh, it's because I'm drawing on the transparent sketch level. See, now it's black because I'm drawing on the layer I'm supposed to be drawing on. I could also lock this layer if I want, which helps too. But there's ways of fixing it if you end up drawing on your sketch layer. I feel like one of these days I'll have to do like a Photoshop tips and tricks kind of episode, because I do know so much about Photoshop after using it for so long. Although I am okay, I wanted the tangent. I wanted this to be very symmetrical, but eyes are not perfectly symmetrical. Like you can tell that's a left eye or a right eye because there's always the little corner bit in there. So this is going to be not perfectly. Although I'm also trying to make this a symbol of an eye rather than an anatomical eye. So I want there to be more symmetry to this. So let's try that line again. What was I saying before? God, my brain. Oh yeah, so I'm using Photoshop today just because I haven't had a chance to set up Affinity, but I did finally get Affinity Photo and Designer and Publisher to replace Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign because it's just time. I complain about Photoshop so much on these streams, and it's actually, there's not so much of a complaint with Photoshop as there is a complaint with Adobe. And I'm just tired of working with Adobe. So I'm going to actually make this perfectly symmetrical. I'm going to just actually make it symmetrical. There we go. Like, Photoshop is a good program. It mostly works. Yeah, that's perfect. Adobe, the company, sucks. And I don't want to use them anymore. So I got Affinity. They're on sale right now. Everything is half off. So you can get like a really good, I have used Affinity before, and it's good. It's a good program. I just haven't had time to like set it up, put all the menus where I need it to be to get my work flowing for this stream. And because I downloaded it before and then I needed to like reboot my entire computer and I lost everything and all of my settings for it. But yeah, for 25 bucks you can get like an actual realistic alternative to Photoshop. Like, it's not like, you know, one of those programs where it's like, yeah, this sort of works, but I couldn't ever use this in a professional capacity. This is like a professional software that a professional artist can use to create professional work that they can turn into clients, which I can't really say for, you know, like the GIMP is never going to be that. And even like I messed around in Clip Studio last week for whatever Wednesday, and it doesn't do CMYK. Like, there's workarounds to sort of work in CMYK, but you can't save in CMYK. You're always going to have to take that file into Photoshop to convert it to CMYK and then do a bunch of color correction, which if you're looking for a program to replace Photoshop, Clip Studio is not it. But Affinity is a program that I think you can replace Photoshop with. But luckily, like, a lot of my Photoshop tips and tricks apply to Affinity. So what I'm saying, what I'm getting at is someday I will do a stream where I just sort of go over like a lot of the like the things that I use to make my my art and make it flow. Just a lot of like time-saving techniques. Alright. So, wow, I drew that pupil really asymmetrically. Set fill to 0%. And yeah, let's make that stroke a little bit bigger. I'm gonna put it on the inside, maybe like 18. I think that's good. All right, and then I want the heart to be symmetrical as well. So half a heart. I want it to be perfect. All right, there we go. Half a heart. And duplicate it. Flip horizontal. Make sure it's perfectly. Yep. And now I have a heart. I might want to make it a little bit. Yeah. There we go. I like that. So we've got the main pieces of that. Going to get those tears going. Oof. Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. How's everyone's day so far? I know I love Tuesdays, but how are your Tuesdays going? I hope you're loving them. All right. Tears, eyeball. Let's draw some swords. This one's going real fast. I like the idea of this sort of like, what's that kind of seashell that does the twirly bit? But anyways, that bit for the pommel. Let's see. Nothing exciting so far, but yeah, you know, sometimes things can be too exciting and it can be really nice to have a calm time. But yeah, I got drunk on the patio last night and it was a blast. I'm not too hungover. Oh, that's great! It is awesome to not have a hangover, and I feel like we never appreciate the times when we're not hungover unless we've recently had a hangover, and it's nice to just take a moment to just be like, yeah, right now I'm not hungover. I can breathe through both nostrils. I don't have a fever. Nothing particularly hurts. Like sometimes you just want to take a moment to celebrate that nothing's wrong and appreciate it on behalf of all those times when something is wrong. Ooh, look at that sword. I would wield this sword. Let's make some more of them. I'm really interested to see if Affinity ends up so shaky with some of the brushes there, because I feel like Photoshop is just adding too much jitter to my lines despite me having it turned off. Like, it shouldn't be adding any jitter at all. Does that look the same? More or less. Close enough to call it. Oh no! Getting 4 hours of sleep! That I definitely have also had those nights where, like, I'm reading something so good that I can't put it down. I always say that there's like a point of no return in a book where, like, once you get to a certain part in a book, you literally, like, you have to finish that book, like, then. Like, you don't get to put it down anymore. And you really hope that that moment doesn't come at, like, 1 in the morning when you're, like, just about to put it down and go to sleep. But I feel like it always happens. Like, you're reading a book and you're like, all right, I'm just gonna finish this chapter and then I'm gonna go to sleep. It's a little bit past my bedtime, but I just want to finish this one chapter. And then at the end of the chapter, you're just like, fuck, this is the point of no return. I hit it. I didn't know I was gonna hit it. And now I have to finish the book. And now I'm up till 4 in the morning and getting no sleep. But it is completely worth it. Sometimes to just, if it's really good. Sometimes it's so frustrating to, like, stay up all night reading a book and then you get to the end and you're like, wow, that was a horrible ending and I got no sleep so I could read that horrible ending. I want all my time back. And that's something that, like, I actually thought about when I was writing a book, was just like, I want to make this worth someone potentially losing sleep over. That was one of the things that I got a lot when I was drawing You and Me. Like, one of the bits of feedback that I often got was people staying up all night reading it and then doing poorly on their exam in medical school. Like, it was specifically a lot of people who were in medical school staying up all night to read my comic and then telling me how they got a bad grade in medical school, but it was worth it. And I just, I'm not trying to fuck up doctors from learning, but apparently I have in the past. So yeah, if you're a doctor or studying to be a doctor, get some good sleep, I guess. But everyone else, stay up all night reading. It's good. Yeah, hurt comfort is your weakness, and you just had to get to the comfort part. Yeah, that's... Yeah, there's also, like leaving something on, like, a painful note. It can be really difficult to, like, fall asleep when you're sort of in the middle of a conflict. You need that resolution to be able to, you know, find enough peace to fall asleep. We've got 3 swords. Count them. 1 sword. 2 swords. I'm probably doing a really bad imitation of the Count's laugh, but oh well. All right, so we've got a few swords. Oh, now I got to do the part where I have to draw some straight lines. So I'm going to use the line tool for that. Because... oh, wow. That's... so this is... I'm holding down shift. If I want it to be, like, perfectly straight, it's actually a bit off. Or I can do purposely a bit off. How symmetrical do I want this? I think I do kind of want this symmetrical. And I'm gonna move this handle over until it's more centered. There we go. But these other guys, I'm actually going to start it from up here, just so I can get proper angle. I'm going to erase the rest. Alright, so we've got a few lines to work with. Alright. I'm going to draw some more lines. So I'm not entirely sure what kind of sword this is. Is this like a rapier? Alex, do you know what kind of sword I'm drawing? Like, I've watched all of the Forged in Fire, but I have a terrible memory, and there are just like so many different swords they were making, and I can't keep them all straight in my brain. So I feel like this is a rapier, or like I don't know. It's got a thin blade to it, double-edged. But I don't specifically know what kind of sword I have drawn. Alright, and I'm thinking... I do want these lines to still look a bit organic, so I'm going to kind of trace over them a little bit with my own lines. Especially when it comes to overlapping the lines beneath them. Ooh. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, come on. It's a swishy sword. There we go. Yeah. It's a swishy sword. That's all we really need to know. I've learned a lot of like what the different parts of the swords are called. Like if you have a little like dip in the middle, that's a fuller, and it's used to make the sword lighter by taking some meat out of the center rather than the sides. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Why is it doing this? Why does it always do this for streams? There we go. Let's see. We're gonna have a little bit of blood, or is that too gory? I don't know. I like gore, certain amount, but I understand people being squeamish about it. That's another reason I wanted to kind of keep this a little cartoony rather than showing like an actual anatomical heart getting stabbed. I don't know. All right, where's the layer with the eyeball? Let's bring the swords up on top. Hey Alex, come in here. What kind of swords are these?
Those are stocks.
Those are what?
Stocks.
Stocks? Mm-hmm. How do you know?
Well, they're thin. They're very ornamental. You have a basket hilt on it, which some stocks historically had. It's not a rapier.
It's not a rapier? What makes it not a rapier?
If you look, there are two... rapiers are meant more for stabby.
Not slashy.
Yes, so these are slashy boys.
So because these are double-edged.
Yes, look up estoc.
Estoc?
E-S-T-O-C.
Estoc.
There you go.
I see. All right.
Yep. You drew some estocs.
I drew some estocs. Got it. Cool. So they're like they're thin, but they do have an edge to them.
They do.
And that makes them cool. Yeah, today we learned. We're learning stuff. I drew an estoc without even knowing what one was. Oh, apparently it's the Alex of Swords. No, he's not trolling. I did look it up, and they do look pretty close to what I drew. So he's probably not trolling. Alex, I do trust Alex's knowledge on swords. Maybe not a lot of other things. Oh, that was the eraser tool. No, Alex is, here's the thing about Alex's knowledge set is that he doesn't know a lot of practical things like how to count or, dates or times or things like that. Numbers. He doesn't really do numbers, but he's very smart about other things. Yeah, he can't really count all that good. And yeah, he's terrible with memory for anything to do with numbers. But like when he knows something, he really knows it, and he'll know everything about it. So if Alex likes swords, he's gonna know everything about swords. Whereas my memory decides to just stick random things in there without any sort of rhyme or reason. Although I actually am fairly good at remembering, like, days in the past. I can't remember, like, upcoming dates, but once a date has already happened, I can often remember at least the significant ones. Yeah, why would I want to learn anything except historical weapons? Yeah, that's... Yeah, that's a mood for sure. Yep. Actually, speaking of remembering numbers, Alex, remind me to pay the mortgage later, because I still haven't done that. It's fine. I get 2 weeks before they get mad. And I usually take the 2 weeks. Alright. So we've got all of that stuff. The background is going to be black, so I don't have to super worry about like the line thickness of the swords where like that edge is just going to meet black anyways. So adding a wiggliness to it isn't really going to show up. So yeah, let's add some black background and then add in here. I should draw Flamberge rapiers. They are the most queer swords out there. Let me look up some Flamberge rapiers, because I feel like maybe that's what I was subconsciously trying to draw. Ooh, first result is Flamberge rapier for sale. Oh my god, look at this gay sword. Hold on. I gotta show y'all this super gay sword. This is the gayest sword I've seen since, like, the one Utena pulled out of Anthe. Yeah, look at this. Look at that gay-ass sword! Look at this wiggly-ass blade right here. Look at the, what is this called? The Quirus? All this twisty... Dang! That's that's a wiggly boy right there. Quillions, yes, quillions, yeah. That's what they're called. Look at all these quillions and this wiggle. Yeah, okay. I'm definitely gonna draw some flamberge rapiers for the sword suit, cuz that's pretty awesome. I love how why is the blade all wibbly wobbly? Yeah, that sword loves kooky earrings and is always late to brunch. Yes. Yes. That sword is the reason why brunch goes till 4 p.m. And even still, that blade shows up at 3:30 and is just like, brunch needs to last longer. Flamberges do stabbing quite well. Yeah, I guess like it's got like a pokey point, and then it just wiggles on its way, and it kind of tickles your guts as it stabs you. That's why, that's what it's for, to tickle you on the inside. Let's get this little bit in here. All right, we got all that. Let's draw some eyelashes. Wait, y'all got seated without me? I was only 45 minutes late. Yes, that is what a flamberge rapier says. I'm surprised the rapier was only 45 minutes late. Usually it's upwards of an hour. But the thing about being late to brunch is that if you're queer, usually everyone else you know is queer too, and they're also late to brunch. There's always like a like obligatory on-time queer in any group, but usually like all the queers are in the group chat just like, I'm gonna be late. Oh, me too! Oh, I'm actually also running late. Oh, I haven't even left the house yet. Oh, I haven't even gotten dressed yet. Oh, I'm actually still unconscious and I am texting you in my sleep. Like, even though it's 3 p.m. Why are we like this? Why are we like this? We love brunch, but I think we love brunch because we don't have to wake up early for it. Queers love sleeping in. Not to erase queers who are morning people, but I just find, on average, we are sleepy bitches. A little bit more variation. Twitch gave my stream the creative tag. I mean, yeah, it's creative. I'm creating something. I'd say it's pretty dang creative. Glad Twitch finally got on board with that. I just don't like that final eyelash. I'm trying to have like enough variation. But yeah, now I'm finally officially creative. My, you know, almost 20-year art career before this didn't count until this moment. Why do I want these eyelashes to be perfect? Okay. There we go. I think that's a pretty good sketch. Maybe I do want to slide everything down just because there's a little bit of this sword poking into the 3. So we're just going to move everything down a smidge. So I don't mind if this teardrop intersects with the line. Although I could also just not have that one teardrop. teardrop. Bye, teardrop. Ah, no, no, it's unbalanced. Okay. Oh, I needed that teardrop. Okay. We've got a sketch. Or not a sketch. We have inks. This pic makes me want people to not stab me in the eye. That is sort of what the meaning of the card is. Like, yes, please don't stab me in my heart eyeball, please. I don't like that. Please respect that I don't like that. So yeah. Let's make some like slightly like pale blue tears. There we go. Yeah, this one is pretty simple as far as colors go. I like to do, rather than a red, I like a little bit of a pinky magenta red. Let's see. What color eye? Maybe a green eye? No, I want to do a brown eye. I don't use a lot of brown. No, it's too close to red. I'm going to go with green because it's going to stand out, but I got to find the right shade of green. Maybe more of like a teal. I don't really like red and like green right next to each other. But yeah, a magenta red and a sort of teal color. Ooh, love that color combo. There's just, I don't want there to be too much white, you know, the eye is white in the back, the eyelashes are white, the tears are pretty pale. Yeah, no Christmas colors. I wonder if I would have the same feelings about red and green together if not for Christmas. Because they are complementary colors, but it just irks me, that color combo. Because yeah, I'm having a war on Christmas. Let's color in some swords. Do I want to do them brass, or do I want to do them like a sort of bluish gray? Maybe a little bit lighter. Yeah. I want all the other cards, you know, they're very bright colors. And I want there to be bright colors in here. So maybe it's more of a brass or bronze kind of handle. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this gold color just to add some more color to this and some visual interest. I can make the blades themselves a little bit more of a cool tone. Let's see. I think that's probably good. Maybe I just make the tears rainbow colors, you know? They don't have to be realistic. This is, I mean, they're getting stabbed in their heart eyeball. Also, thank you, Labim. I do need to hydrate. Ooh. I've got some tea bags of some peachy green tea. Like, I just have the bags left in there in water, and so it gives it just a little hint of peachy green, which is nice. All right. Do I want to do like the white of the eye in a color? Yeah. And yeah, there could be blood in the tears. Or I might just make the tears rainbow colors just cuz. Like, just cuz it'd be fun. So yeah, let's see about adding some rainbow to these tears. Cries in gay! Yes, okay, so you're right. This is going to be specific, like, gay breakup feelings. You know? This is a card for specifically being heartbroken in gay. So yeah, we need to have some rainbow in these tears, because you've got like a rainbow of feelings going on. Let's make that a little bit more of a bright blue. I don't know. Since I did the green for the white of the eye, I almost don't want to do the rainbow now. I don't know. I like... Oh, I want to add more color to it. I do. I just have to get the balance right in these tears so that they still look like tears. You know, I want them to read... I mean, obviously they're coming out of the eye, which is dripping. So there's gonna be that. So yeah, I guess having rainbow tears is still gonna work. So I do want this to be about gay feelings. Crying about your gay feelings. Oh, that's really pretty. That's really pretty. I like this. It's cute. It's, you know, it's not overly complicated. You're gay and you're sad about it sometimes. We all have to cry in gay from time to time. Maybe I'm going to make the green part of the eye. I think it just needs a brighter green. Oh, ooh, there it is. There it is. I like that bright. We got the RBG in the eye. You know, we got the bright green, the bright red, the bright blue. Got the yellow in the swords, and then just a rainbow of tears. Because, yeah, this is my deck, and when I cry rainbows. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I think any gay person is going to look at this and be like, yeah, it's sometimes you're queer and you cry rainbow tears. Sometimes it is because you're wearing rainbow eyeshadow and you cry and it does like smear everywhere. Or one time I was doing my makeup. I had this like ultra like high pigmented bright blue loose eyeshadow, and I missed when I was applying it to my eyelid, and I hit myself like right in my eyeball with it, and it was so ultra pigmented that my eyeball was just blue for hours. This was for a show too. I'm doing this show with just a bright blue eyeball. No one really commented on it, so I guess it was fine, but I would not recommend putting eyeshadow directly into the eyeball, even if you do want your eyeball to be bright blue or green or whatever, and I was crying bright blue tears from it. But yeah, there we've got the Three of Swords, you know? It looks different from this, but also still similar enough to reference it, and you can look at that and be like, yeah, that's the Three of Swords right there. Count them. 1, 2, 3 swords. It also says Three of Swords at the bottom. So, yeah, I think people are going to get the message that this is the Three of Swords. Cool. So we got one card done. We're an hour into things. The next card is going to be a little bit more complicated. I am going to take a quick break. I'm gonna run an ad, and you know, as usual, subscribers do not see ads, but when I come back, maybe I will have Egg with me, and I can show you exactly how much we match since I dyed my hair to look like eggs. So yeah, give me just a minute. I'll bring Egg. We'll take a quick egg break. And then we'll get started drawing the next card. So, yeah, let me click the button. I will be right back. Oh my god, I'm really good at taking like exactly 60 seconds for these breaks. Yeah, I found Egg. She is damp because she's always a little damp. She cleans herself really well, but that means she's always damp from her little tongue. But yeah, Egg, it's okay. But yeah, see, we match. The gray perfectly matches. We see, doesn't she look more related to me now? Doesn't she look more related to me? Hi. Hi, baby girl. Hi. She was taking a nap and I picked her up. Yeah, we'll have to. There we go. There we go. Let's just meet her where she's at. Where'd she go? Yeah. Yeah, the resemblance is uncanny. We definitely look exactly alike now. My little baby girl. I gotta get a little pink bow for my hair like she has. Oh, come on. Let's just move this camera. Let's there we go. Egg time. Egg time. Oh, she's gotta go do baby things. She's got a very full agenda of stuff she's gotta get done today. She has to you wanna go in the window? Do you wanna smell the outside? There's so many things to sniff. Let's see if she can jump. Oh. I'm gonna put a box over by the window so that she can reach the windowsill. She's really bad at jumping, so she never jumps into the windowsill. She just like puts her paws on the ledge and then she essentially just does like chin-ups to get to the window. But she is very curious about the outside, so here you go, baby. There you go. Whoop. Well. Okay. You going out? Or are you staying in? Staying in or out? In or out, babe? Oh my god. She is just like in the doorway to my office, refusing to. You coming or going? I'm closing the door. I'm closing the door. You're gonna cry. She's gonna cry to be let back in just a minute. But, you know, also Alex bought me some Chinese food for later. I'm very excited to eat that. I feel like every single one of these, I'm like, oh yeah, my office is so messy. Don't look at my messy office. I need to clean it. I still haven't cleaned it. I'll do it someday. All right, so 3 of Swords. We did it. It's great. Love that 3 of Swords. Now I gotta pull up. Let's see, we're doing 3 of Pentacles now. And I did say that, you know, this one is kind of dedicated to you guys. Because, so the thing about the 3 of Pentacles is it is about, like, collaboration, working with other people, and, like, specifically in a sort of, like, creative way. So the card, the classic card, has someone, has a stonemason sort of doing work on, like, a church. And he's showing his work to the like architect and like to a couple of the architects who are working on it. Let's see. And sort of showing, so the stonemason is supposedly like not as experienced, but despite that, the architects are still, who are more experienced, are like taking the stonemason, you know, very seriously, even despite having less experience. And both of them recognizing that just like, you know, us architects wouldn't get this church made without the stonemason, and the stonemason wouldn't get the church done without the architects. And like this being, like how creativity can be really social and working together to, you know, produce a common goal. And So, oh, Egg's trying to get back in now. She's trying to get back in. I knew she would. Or maybe it's a different kitty. Or maybe it's actually just the wind. But yeah, so one of the things that I love about these streams is that so often you guys are also like working on your own creative projects. And I love like hearing updates of what you guys are working on. And I think that's really cool that we can all kind of sit together and work on creative projects together. And it really does sort of inspire creativity to do things together, even though we're not all like working on the same project together. It's still, you know, just being together while creating, I think makes the work better. Like having community, working together. You know, this card is supposed to be about working towards a common goal together. But I do find that honestly, just being in the company of other artists gives me inspiration that I wouldn't otherwise have if I did something alone. And towards the, you know, like back in the fall, part of why I joined the pod that I did, which includes Gin Fizz, is that, you know, we very often spend time together just like hanging out in the same room, working on our own projects, like creating things together. And that is like, it feeds the artistic soul. And like, we've been working on stained glass stuff together and like learning how to do that together. And it's been so nice. And it was something that like not having it was, you know, sort of feeding my despair, and having it again really inspired me and, you know, made art more fun again. And yeah, I love you too, Gin Fizz. So yeah, for this card, I do actually, rather than a stonemason working on the church, I do want to have someone working on stained glass. Just because, one, that's going to be more colorful, but two, like, stained glass has been the project that I've been working on for months. I'm still, like, not that great at it, and I, again, just, like, I've injured my fingers so much that my fingerprints are no longer registering as fingers on my phone anymore. But really, I just need to get like special gloves that will keep my fingers from getting so torn up. But yeah, it's also, you know, the stonemason in this card is like less experienced than these architects. So because I am definitely less experienced with stained glass, that I also am sort of connecting with that too, of just like, just because you're not as experienced with something doesn't mean you can't, you know, contribute something real to a project. And you don't have to wait to be an expert in order to be part of something and in order to create something. You can, you know, and just the thing of the architects, that they do respect the stonemason despite not having as much experience as they do. Like it's everyone sort of acknowledging each other, and that, you know, we all have our part to play in this, and we are collaborating, and none of us could do this without each other. Like I wouldn't be doing these streams if I didn't have, you know, you guys showing up every week to watch it. I would just be, you know, it's not the same just doing this alone in my house without you guys watching. Because just we have these chats going on while things are being creative, and, you know, just being able to like bounce ideas off you guys, or just even talking about it out loud will get my brain to click on things. And also like really wanting to do a good job in front of you guys, that I don't want to just like fart out a card and be like, good enough. It's one of 78. If a few of them aren't great, who cares? Like I want every single card that you guys show up to watch get created. be fun to watch and a good result. I don't want to half-ass any of these. So, yeah, having an art party is something that, I've had, my small art parties, depending on what kind of art you do, like being able to do it, like, even if you're just hanging out in different corners of the backyard together can be really great. And yeah, that's something that I want to bring more people into art parties. And, maybe I do end up, I don't know, figuring out some sort of artist collective that I can put together in Meat Space. Because I do think I'm going to go back to my day job when the pandemic is over. And by back to the day job, I mean like I did 2 nights a week at a bar was my day job, but it was still, I had that job because bartending was, more of a collaborative social experience. Because you've got other coworkers to work with, you have customers, like you're talking a lot, you're moving a lot. And so I'm going to go back to doing that, but I am really happy that I found a way to make working from home to be more of a social thing, and you guys are such a good major part of what has made working from home go from something very like kind of dismal and antisocial to something that brings me alive. I'm an extrovert, and communicating with other people gives me energy. Like, yeah, sending vibes to each other. It's a good vibe being in a room with other people creating. Exactly, dweeb. Like, I love it. Exactly, dweeb. But yeah, it's just creative. Like, I don't really believe in like mystical energy, but like vibes where you're sort of cultivating the energy of a room just through your own mood. And, we do pick up on each other's moods. So, cultivating a mood of creativity together, does inspire more of it. It's like love, where the more you put out into the world, the more you get back. And creativity, creating, is that same way, where it grows exponentially. Like, this stonemason working alone might, create this much, and the architects might create this much, but together they create, this much, like exponentially more than any of them could have done individually. So, teamwork, it's a thing. We love it. We miss it, Ooh. Took too big of a gulp of that water. Ow. I'm okay, but oof. Oof. It just like attempted to go in a wrong spot. Oof. Okay. So let's figure out this card. I don't actually have like a clear idea of composition for this one like I had with the last one. Like, I know I do want to do stained glass. I want to show, a stained glass worker, probably, obviously the glass that they are creating, the design is going to be 3 pentacles. And I will probably also have those pentacles be like in the center of flowers, like I did for the Ace of Pentacles. I think for the whole suit of pentacles, I do want to draw the pentacle sort of as the center of a flower. Both because like it ties into the sort of like flower power look that I'm doing for this deck. But also, it is an earth, the pentacles are the earth suit, and, flowers are from the earth. So, yeah, going with that. So yeah, I guess I want to show, because this is supposed to be like collaborating towards a common goal. So trying to think of like who the stained glass worker is working with. Like, yeah, maybe we have someone like in paint clothes who is like the person like painting the walls, because it can still be like building a church or just building any sort of building that's going to have windows to it. So just thinking of other people that might be looking at this, or maybe they don't have to necessarily have their own creative jobs be really visual, because the architects in the card don't really, they're not like, here is my blueprint. They're really just, it's, I guess, understood that they are architects. Actually, are they holding blueprints? Oh, they are holding blueprints. They're like, here's my blueprint. So, yeah, maybe we can have someone holding like the printed out design. Maybe like one person designed the stained glass and the other person is assembling it. I know that like I draw my own designs and then assemble my glass, but for a lot of people, like one person will design it and another person will assemble it. That can definitely be, I'm so used to doing like all parts of a job. Like when I make comics, I write them and sketch them and ink them and color them. And for a lot of other comic series, that's a whole team. That's like 4 or 5 different people working on, like one person's doing the script, one person's doing the sketches. That person might also do the inks, but often a different person is doing the colors and a different person is doing the letters. I almost could have, if drawing comics was more visually interesting, I guess, visually, like as visually like flamboyant as stained glass was, maybe I would depict the 3 of Pentacles as like a team making comics together. But I want to go with the stained glass thing because that's like the only clear part that I have in my head, and it's going to make for some really pretty colors. I know I'm just like, yeah, just watching someone draw is not very visually interesting as I'm sitting here like drawing on camera for y'all. But still, I think, yeah, maybe having a couple people who are like, here's the design of the stained glass. And this other person is like, here's the window that I made. Although you don't really like do stained glass like upright, you know. It's something that you're going to do on a table and then sort of install into a building. So I guess this person would be sort of hanging it up, let's say. But we also have to make sure the arm doesn't block the glass itself. So we're going to have to be really considerate with the pose to make sure it's not blocking anything important. So some proportions might get cheated a little bit just for the sake of composition. And yeah, this person's going to be up on a ladder. But I think I might have 2 people. I don't think we need to have like 2 designers down at the bottom. We can just have 2 people. I don't necessarily feel like drawing 3 different characters for this one. Yeah, I'm going to figure out a way of playing with colored light for sure, the same way that I did with like the Hierophant. And that's another reason I wanted to do stained glass for this, is the imagery in this is going to connect with both the Hierophant and, you know, the Ace of Pentacles. Like taking elements of cards that I've already done and bringing them into this card is going to make for a more cohesive deck. Now I'm going to have to draw a ladder, though, aren't I? I'll figure that out in a second. Booty. This one's got a booty. So let's see. Do I want the window to be square? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have, so like here's the like window frame, and this stained glass panel is being installed within it. I keep designing like big elaborate like stained glass windows, and they're like it's been way too complicated of a thing for like a beginner to be working on. And I finally this weekend I was like, what if I just make some sun catchers? Like I I don't know why I was resisting doing like small sun catchers. I was like, no, cathedral windows right away. So I made just like a seashell pattern, and I'm just gonna make a whole bunch of seashells until I can do that really good, and then I'm gonna work on other stuff from there. Um, yeah, I'm starting on smaller projects. The problem was I kept like starting on these big things and then getting halfway through. Like, because it would take me so long to do the big things, I would acquire new skills and look at the first half of it and be like, oh, I can do so much better now. I don't even want to waste the glass to finish this. Because it is also like glass is expensive. And using it consumes it. So I just had all these unfinished big projects, and I think having some little things means that I will actually finish them. Also, hello, Ninja Tea Cake. Welcome to Tarot Tuesday. We are doing some stained glass, or drawing a person doing stained glass. So let's draw a little step ladder. All right. So yeah, we're installing a window in a space. I love Jin Fizz, you're finally graduating to bigger stuff, and I'm finally like going back and doing smaller stuff now. I think you had the right idea with starting small and then getting bigger from there. I guess I just figured like tiny pieces would be harder to work with. But they're actually not. Yeah, Adane, I also do want to just do the big cool projects right away. And, you know, you don't always get to. Like, you have to work on the fundamentals so that you can do the big stuff later. You cut your teeth on the small stuff. All right. So we're going to have 3 pentacle flowers depicted in this stained glass. Actually, I kind of want to do some of these pentacle flowers in stained glass now. That might be a really fun project. Oh yeah, I was also going to do 5 petaled flowers for the pentacles. Let's see. That's true, Jin. You did that 2-inch piece, like all the individual pieces in that were so small they just got covered by the solder. But that was also like you didn't know. And I think I saw that and I like overcompensated. You went from like, oh, 2 inches is too small. Let's try 4 inches. And I went, oh, 2 inches is too small. Let's try 20 inches. So yeah, just realizing like, oh no, you can do something that is smaller than 20 inches and it's not going to be too major. I think it's also especially hard just because, like, you know, with drawing, it is something that I can do very easily and quickly, and I don't have as much to learn about it. You know, obviously, there's still plenty I can learn. I learn new stuff all the time, but it's in small increments. And with other art forms, I am just like, I'm an artist. I should be able to just like jump in halfway through. I don't need to learn the fundamentals of design. I feel like, oh yeah, I can just like jump in head first, and I get frustrated being bad at something creative after being good at something creative for so long, where like part of my identity is that I am creative, as Twitch has now finally affirmed. And that was something I struggled with learning music again, was that I couldn't just be good at it right away. And something that made that extra hard is that I did actually used to be really good at music, but not doing it for so long, my skills completely atrophied, and like I'm having to relearn like reading music, which used to be like I was fluent in reading music before. I could sight read, and you know, now I'm just like very slowly like counting the bars to figure out what note I'm supposed to be playing, and getting mixed up between bass and treble clef all the time. But you know, I've got a good teacher who is, you know, he's a friend, and he's not going to make fun of me for not knowing how to do stuff. I feel sometimes like I'm going to be judged for not being good at a creative pursuit. And I know it's not true, but there is always that fear that like someone's going to revoke my artistic license for you know, struggling with something. And yeah, learning to cut on a line with a glass cutter is very different from other creative skills. But at the same time, like I grew up very handy, and I did know how to do some of this stuff. Like my parents did stained glass. My dad still works with glass, actually. The last time I called him, we talked glass for a long while. And he actually gave me some good tips. That one of them was like, get a really nice glass cutter. Like that it really does make a difference. And so I'm probably going to go buy a swankier glass cutter soon. Oh yeah, now I have to do the rest of this design. I want there to be lots of color and interesting lines to this. I want it to read as stained glass. Oops. But yeah, having nice tools really does help, and that is something that like Gin Fizz has also really helped me realize. Because I used to do watercolors with basically just like a child's watercolor kit, and I was like, oh, but if you're good enough, then like your tools don't actually matter, like, you know. And I would often get people asking me like, well, what kind of tools do you use? And it felt like they were asking like for a shortcut almost. But because I couldn't really afford good tools when I was learning. And then I got so used to using the bad tools that I was like, well, you know, I've been doing this for a while, so I've learned to live without the good tools. But then, you know, Jin letting me, I often go to Jin's house where she has like all of the colors of all the different mediums and the nice tools, and she lets me just like use all of her supplies. And I was just like, oh wow, these nice watercolors look so much nicer on the paper, and this nice paper makes the watercolors look even better, and this nice paintbrush, wow, it puts the paint on in way better ways. And then I go home and I'm like, well, I think I'm gonna buy like a nice paintbrush and some nice watercolors now. It really does. Thank you for forcing me to use good tools. And like over the summer I was like, I'm frustrated with my computer, and I've owned this tablet for 13 years. I was like, but it still works. Like, do I really need to replace it if it still works? I'm gonna feel guilty for upgrading. And, you know, Jin and some other friends were just like, this is your job. You can invest in yourself. You are allowed to buy good tools and good supplies. You're not like, you should never feel guilty for like actually spending money on something that is going to make your work easier and better and more enjoyable too. It's more enjoyable to use nicer tools. And I'm glad that my friends, you know, sort of give me more permission to invest in myself, because I often don't. Let's figure out a face. Yeah, gaining a few milliseconds hundreds of times a day is a huge productivity gain. That's a very good point that I wasn't even thinking about. Like, having a faster computer does mean that, yeah, like my old computer, I would sometimes like draw a line and then have to wait a second for it to actually show up. And that's a horrible way to draw, and it was really frustrating. And I don't have to worry about that anymore. I want this face to be sort of soft. I do a lot of like really angular faces lately. I want this one to be a little more soft. Yeah, if you have ever felt like you needed permission to, you know, invest in yourself, in your creativity, here it is. Like, it's worth it. It's worth it to say like, hey, this is something that I know I am gonna do a bunch. And like, maybe, I guess if I'm first starting out in a new hobby, I might not be like, you know, I'm going to go get the top of the line thing, because often I will start a hobby and be like, this isn't actually for me. And I don't need all of the like fancy bits, because I didn't end up sticking with this thing. But like once I realized like, oh yeah, this is something I'm going to do a lot, then I start investing in nicer stuff. I feel like, ooh, I'm gonna have her in like some coveralls, because I often wear like coveralls while I'm working. Um, they have so many pockets for putting stuff in. And it just makes me feel like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm working on glass. It's a very, crafts are often more of a like physical art form. It's a lot, it's a lot more physical doing glass than it is drawing comics. And that's one of the reasons I love it. Um, oh yeah, we're doing some coveralls. They're cute. We love them, and they're gay. All of these cards, I'm just like, we got to figure out how to make it gay. And yeah, coveralls. Ooh, we're gonna put a hanky in that back pocket. I'm gonna have to look up the hanky code though, because I don't want to like accidentally say something like and be like, whew, that's a little bit more spicy than I was meaning to say with this card. Because there is like a whole language. It's like Victorian flower language in hankies, and it's about sex. So I gotta look that up. Oh yeah, I bet like expensive knitting needles are better than the cheap aluminum ones. I imagine like nice yarn is better than cheap yarn, and you end up with a product that one is like the yarn was easier to work with as you made it, and then two, like you're gonna enjoy the thing you made more because you made it out of nice yarn. And just realizing that like, yeah, making a lot of cheap stuff that I'm not actually going to use is, you know, not as good as just like actually investing in some good stuff and then actually using it. But yeah, having a good workflow is like so essential. And that like the reason why I didn't use Affinity today, even though I just bought it yesterday and was excited to use it, is that I haven't had a chance yet to set up my workflow with it, where like all the tools are where I expect them to be, and I can just like use all of my shortcuts and go, go, go. I can do that with Photoshop right now because I've used it so much. Yeah, I think Affinity tomorrow. Yeah, because I tried out what's it called? Clip Studio last week for whatever Wednesday. So yeah, I think this week's whatever Wednesday I am going to also try out a new program. That's I'm gonna have to draw Buff Dracula, Buff Goth Dracula tomorrow because yeah, I did Gay Twink Mothman before, and so now I have to draw his boyfriend, Buff Dracula. Um yeah, I'm sure like also knowing, yeah, like nice yarn is better, but yeah, like acrylic yarn still has its uses, and yeah, knowing what you're using the tools for, Adane, yeah, definitely uh it's not like, because I love painting with acrylics, and it's not just like a cheap alternative to oils. Like it's its own thing, and it has its uses. I really need to go to, there's this place nearby called the Waste Shed, which is like a thrift store for art supplies. And I've been wanting to go there and see if they have any stained glass supplies. Because it seems like they might. And it's because it's a thrift store, it is always just like, well, what has someone donated recently? So I gotta just check back periodically and see what they've got. they both going to be wearing coveralls, or is one of them going to be wearing like uh painty clothes? Oh, bye, Adane. Thank you so much for showing up. Have a good time at your meeting, and I hope your shawls are going good. But yeah. Oh, Wayshed is only online right now. Okay. Well, I can browse online. But yeah, I've also been wanting to take like an art class. I think I do once I have a vaccine. I might actually like take a class in stained glass. And see. I don't know, just I feel like there might be some fundamentals that I really should learn, like from a professional or something, just to see. I don't know. We'll see. I think they're both gonna be wearing coveralls. Even though I imagine the architect shows up in like their suit or whatever. This is more of a hands-on architect. Yeah, I've also been wanting to take a ceramics class. I really do have this vision in my mind of wanting to make my own ceramic tile to like redo my kitchen or bathroom. Also, no spam in the chat. No spam in the chat. How do I ban this spam? Oh, thank you, Gin Fizz. Yes. Love. Whoa. Oh shit. Oh no. Fuck. Whole bunch of spam all at once can be a really bad sign. Oof. Oh fuck. I'm worried that this might be an attack. Oof. Let's I'm going to try and see if I can set this so that only followers can comment real quick. Just because I know someone who like got their stream like locked down from having too much like it's like an attack. How can I maybe do this? I want to. Oh no, I don't want to get banned by accident because of all of this spam happening. Let's see. Well, is there just a... Well, it seems like it's stopped, maybe? Yeah, let me see if Oh, okay, there's a followers only mode for this room. We can make it like it doesn't have to be like a 6 days, 22 hours kind of thing. Like so long as someone has followed, because I did see like some folks just followed, and by the way, thank you for the follows. So I think some people just followed so that they'll be able to like keep chatting, and I don't think spam accounts typically follow you. Yeah, but thank you so much for handling that. I'm very happy to have wonderful mods, because I also just I can be a little bit of an old person when it comes to technology, and not really knowing how to do things on the internet. So it's I very much need sometimes people who are like, I understand how the internet works. Here, we can fix this. I used to be so good at the internet, and yeah, a whole bunch of accounts just spammed the same message simultaneously, and I was worried that it was like a spam attack. and that I was gonna get yeah, Alex heard shouting from the other room. Yeah, I was really worried that my Twitch was gonna get locked for having all of these spam messages all at once. But okay, we're back. We're back on track. I'm gonna give her glasses. This is a little bit me and Gin Fizz working on glass. Yeah. Oh, she needs eyes. Yeah. Like, it's not actually like a self-portrait of me and Gin Fizz, but this is definitely like dedicated to our craft times IRL together and making stained glass stuff. Because it has been, you know, definitely one of the highlights of the pandemic. I do, like, a lot of good stuff has come out of the pandemic, and it can feel weird sometimes to acknowledge it. Like, you're saying, like, I'm glad the pandemic happened so that I could do this thing. Like, I could have taken up stained glass without a pandemic. It's just that I happened to take it up during the pandemic. And so I have, you know, good memories from pandemic times. It definitely was a bit of a catalyst. But it's not like this is something I couldn't have done without a pandemic, and therefore 500,000 people needed to die so that I could take up a hobby. And it sometimes feels like that when you're just like, oh yeah, this good thing came out of the pandemic. All right. I feel like I do want a little bit of something to, you know, cross through here. I don't want it to be... It's so close to the edge that I feel like I need to go over the edge to keep things a little bit more balanced. So we're just going to have both of their hair is like long and flowing, because that's also just something I love doing. Long flowing hair, even though you are doing crafts and working with tools. Yeah, we probably couldn't have convinced Billy as easily, Billy being Jin's boyfriend. We might not have been able to convince him to devote an entire room of your house to stained glass without the pandemic. But here we are. Cool. I feel like I want to have like some sky in this little bit of window here, just to like say that this is outside and we are hanging up a window. So I'm probably going to have the background of this window be blue too. So it's sky. It's not just going to be another black void. And yeah. Oh yeah, I did want to put a hanky in the pocket, but I gotta, hold on, I gotta look up some hanky code stuff to make sure that I'm not getting too wild with it. Because it's a whole language. Like, I feel like more people need to know it, because it is a good way of like signaling what you're into without having to like directly say. And then like you can find other people who want the same thing without having to ask like every single person you meet, like, hey, are you into armpits? Like, you can just have a thing that says I like to do this thing. I don't know. There's a lot of, and it's like subtle colors too. Like the difference between light pink and dark pink and mauve is very different. Wow. I mean, I guess we could go for there's a lot happening here. Wow. Oh, I do like Robin's Egg Blue is worn on the left is saying that you like 69ing, but if you wear it on the right, you like anything but 69ing. It's like that specific. What's the hanky code for into making stained glass together? Well, it looks like maroon on the left side is good for cuts, you know, and on the right it's for bleeds, and I'm definitely doing both of those things with my fingers. So that might be the closest thing. Yeah. I would say maroon, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna go with shit, I already forgot what color I was gonna do. Oh yeah, Robin's Egg Blue for 69ing. Because I feel like 69ing is still kind of wholesome. I feel like that should be as common as like missionary. Everyone should do a 69 from time to time. You both get pleasure at the same time. We like that. We like that. And I mean, obviously, if you're not into it, there's nothing wrong with that. But, I don't know. I think it's kind of sweet. It's kind of sweet. And okay, we got to put it in the left pocket. For likes to do 69ing. But yeah, I do need like a hanky to designate like I am a handy queer. I can like install a sink for you versus like looking for a handy like bot, looking for someone who wants me to fix their sink. Actually, I'm not super confident in my plumbing skills. I probably shouldn't wear whatever hanky color that is. But yeah, you gotta take a whole Pantone swatch book with you when you go out to cross-check the colors. Yes, Dweeb. It does. That's why, like, I like the idea of the hanky code, but I know going out, I'm not gonna remember any of it. I guess you only have to remember your color, though. Where you're just like, okay, I know what color I'm into, so I'm just gonna look for that color. But they do get so specific, like the subtle differences between like a light yellow and like a slightly more orangey like apricot color is like two totally different things. Although I guess you gotta kind of be like a bit gracious about like, oh, sorry, I thought like in the dark this looked like this other color and I thought you were totally into, you know, feet, and it turns out that you're into scat. Like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to imply that you were a foot fetishist when actually you're a poop fetishist. Like, I'm so embarrassed. Yeah. It's just a good way to find your type of people out in public without having to directly say it. Okay, I think we got a good sketch right here. I love this. It's beautiful. So let's start inking. Let's see. Gonna lock that layer too. Whew, I'm gonna real quick have a good old sip of water. And cool. We're gonna start with the characters, the really organic shapes, and I'm gonna use, you know, straight edges for the windows. But yeah, Gin Fizz and I did both buy pink coveralls Hers is like a pale baby pink, and mine is a bright magenta. And that is our personalities right there. And I love wearing coveralls. Because you are a pale baby, yes. You are a very pale baby. Oop, come on. Yeah, this card is dedicated to hanging out with your besties, working on projects together. Even if it's not the same project, because it's just really nice and soul enriching to just go up to each other and be like, look at what I made! Like, that's something we all do as little kids. Like, you draw a picture and you run up to your mom and you're like, look at what I made! And I never grew out of wanting to do that. That's why I put my drawings on the internet, is because I started drawing things I didn't want to show my mom, first of all. But I still wanted people to look at what I made and let me run up to them and be like, look at what I made! Let's see. Gotta make sure the hair actually makes sense. Draw the big main strands of hair first. My brushes, yeah, maybe a little too thick. How's everyone's projects going? I am going to start a Discord server sometime soon. And there is definitely going to be a section for everyone to hold up their work and be like, look at what I made! Because I do love hearing about your projects too. And it always makes me really happy when to hear that like people are getting more creative because of watching this. Or just like being inspired to take up something new. Or retake something old. Making a sweater sleeve, that's cool. Knitting is still like such a mystery to me. I think anything with yarn is magical. Hopefully we get a long spring this year so that it doesn't like go directly from winter into summer and you don't get to wear the sweater. Come on. Boots. Don't really have to. That's not a proportional leg, but it's gonna get cut off by the border, so doesn't really matter. It's always wild to me that there's like belt loops on a jumpsuit, as if like the entire top part of the jumpsuit is not what keeps the pants part up and you need a belt. But there are belt loops. Same as like overalls. Although I guess sometimes when I'm wearing a jumpsuit like this, I will sometimes get too warm and like sort of roll the top half down and like tie the sleeves around my waist. Usually I will have a shirt on underneath. And I guess like, yeah, having a belt might help for that. I don't know. Maybe it's just aesthetic. People just like belt loops. Or yeah, like you could put a hammer in there for sure. All right. Oh, I did not really spend a lot of time figuring out this hand. Let's see. Oh, and I have to actually like draw this same design on here. Oh yeah, belt loops for keychains. That's another good use. Looking at my own hand, figuring out how to draw this hand. It's still slightly awkward. Do better. Trying to determine a little bit of what angle I'm looking at this hand from. All right. Okay, so this is where I gotta refine my sketch a little bit. So we got hand, thumb, meat, finger, other finger, back of the hand. Okay. Cool. That's really better. You're in the middle of so many projects right now, but almost all of your supplies you were waiting on have arrived, so you can start getting through them. Hell yes, Jin. I love it when you show me all the supplies you get. I also get like really excited when I get new art supplies and I want to show people. I'm just like, look at the pretty colors of glass that I bought. I haven't even turned them into anything. I just want to look at them as full panes of glass. Just look at all my pretty colors. I just want to make sure that these three lines do not all intersect in the exact same spot, because that messes with a sort of sense of depth. That's the word, depth. And once again, like, these three lines intersected, and I almost had three more lines intersect. I think I can forgive this one intersection if I don't have a bunch of others. Okay. We'll fill in the hair with a smaller brush a little bit later. I want to get like the basic larger line strokes up. I feel like this is going to be another card that just turns out extremely colorful. So we've got two different characters. We've got stained glass. We've got bright colored coveralls. We've got a hanky. What if they both had hankies that are like, I love 69ing? And then after they got done with this project, they went and did a 69. Like, we could have like a depth of a story going on here. It's that like coming together to make a creative project and then coming together in bed. I just want y'all to like ship all the characters that I'm drawing. So windy outside today. It's so nice. Having a warmish breeze blowing through the window. Thank you for shipping my characters, Dweeb. Oh, you tried taking your cat outside today? That's so cute. But it's too windy for her. Oh no. I might take Scrambles outside when it gets a little bit warmer and yeah, less windy. Scrambles is the only cat I trust outside. Oz likes the outside too much and will try to zoom away. Also, can you hear how loud my neighbor's music is right now? Guys, it's so loud. Oh, your cat has a little harness and yeah. Just sat on the patio. Aw. Yeah, I'll sometimes put Scrambles on a leash that I make out of a ribbon. And we just sit in the backyard. We don't really... Scrambles isn't going to take a walk. Exercise is not really his deal. Yeah, I think Oz feels like it's unfair that he can't also go outside, but it's like, Oz, you will run. Scrambles just lays down and eats grass. Oz will try to zoom so he doesn't get outdoor privileges. An Egg is so scared of the outside. She hates it. we used to have to go outside to go between the first and second floors of this house until we finally cut a doorway in the entryway. And anytime I tried to bring Egg upstairs and we had to be outside for just like a minute, and she would just cry and cry and cry and cry and could not be consoled for a while. And she's very happy that we don't have to go outside anymore. Also, yes, good job, Moles. Taking a shower. Good job. I also took a shower today. I've been having kind of lazy mornings, and I need to have slightly less lazy mornings. I've got a lot of stuff I want to get done these days. Moles. Did you take a shower because you were so inspired by this stream? And it just made you want to like create with soap and water? Like did you create a clean body through the medium of soap and water because you were inspired by Twitch officially naming this a creative channel? Is that what happened? Because you're welcome. You took a shower because all the oil buildup in your hair was getting unbearably itchy. I know how that goes. Since I started bleaching my hair, I haven't been shampooing it as much just to sort of prevent it from getting too damaged. But yeah, there have been a couple times where it like reached a point of being like stiff and itchy. I'm trying not to get to that point again. I don't want to draw too much detail in the boots, because I don't want to. Because I just don't want to. But a little bit of detail will work. I think I'm going to go take a walk in the park when I'm done with this, because it's so nice out. I want to enjoy it while I can. Yeah, just enough lines to imply boot. Slightly different shape. More round with the booty. Oh yeah, I gotta draw the rest of the pocket over here so it's not just a floating hanky. In the hanky code, if your hanky is just floating there, that's code for you're a magician. A magician top. Um, if you have your hanky floating by your other pocket, that means that you are a magician's assistant. Wait. So in pants like jeans or something, usually the inner seams are only you only see one stitch, and on the it's the outer one that oh no, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. Oops. Oh well. I'm still drawing it like this. I've never sewn any jeans before, and I feel like maybe I should sometime soon. Um if only just because I keep buying jeans in the store and they just never fit. I need like a pair of custom jeans that will accommodate both my waist and booty. Because I'm so tired of having to be like, well, this fits my waist. So even though it doesn't fit my butt, I'm gonna buy these pants. Or like this fits the others. So like I want something that fits both at the same time. My neighbor is very obviously playing his loud music from his cell phone because every now and then the music pauses and like a text message noise goes off for the whole neighborhood to hear. He's been having a whole conversation today. One time, this neighbor did not realize, like, he had the text to talk thing where it like translate, it, like it speaks aloud the text that he's getting, and I don't think he realized that it was going through his car speakers, and he was just like blasting this whole conversation throughout the entire neighborhood. Let's see, are they the right eyebrows for the mood? There we go. I want some friendly eyebrows. Wow, you absolutely can hear the software is showing that the neighborhood music is getting picked up by the mic. I'm gonna close my window for a bit. Like I'll miss the fresh air, but I'm gonna take a walk in the park later, so I'll get fresh air. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Oh. There we go. This is going pretty good. I'll draw this step ladder. That's going to be a little tricky. Let's make this line a little thicker. There. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I necessarily need perfectly straight lines for this step ladder like I'm going to have for the window. Most of this gets covered up by the frame, so doesn't have to be perfect or proportional. I feel like this is maybe not exactly how a ladder goes. There's gotta be, because especially if it's like a folding ladder, there's gonna be like bits and bobs to make that happen. But again, most of this is getting covered up. It's meant to be a suggestion of a ladder and not an actual ladder. Maybe this isn't a fold-up ladder. Maybe this is just an always open ladder. I think it's going to be fine. Okay, so now let's make some straight lines. Yeah, that looks good. Do another one. That looks good. Combine those. And I want the frame behind it to be the same size because it is going into a slot that was made for it. No, wrong layer. Thumb overlap this a little bit more to show some depth. Cool. Got the window frames. Have floor, and I feel like I'm actually going to do that with a white line. It's going to be black background. Yeah, having those white lines to... Maybe I'll color in the floor. Just so that these white lines, or maybe I move the white lines up. So I want to show a floor. There is already all of these horizontal lines there. I think that'll be good. Still have to draw the windows and the sort of blueprint thing. It's looking good. All right. Yeah, let's draw. I'm going to do some hair, actually. I love drawing hair. Swoopy, swirly hair. Thank you for the follow, Felderberg. Welcome. And if you weren't here earlier, we had to restrict chatting to people who have been following for at least 20 minutes just because I got a spam attack, and sometimes when that happens, Twitch will like freeze your account, and we were trying to prevent that from happening. So in 19 more minutes, you'll be able to join in the chatting if you so please. But also always appreciate lurkers just hanging out and watching. Alright, so now we gotta do the actual windows. I do kind of want all three of these to be like identical and very sort of perfect, I guess. Mathematical, geometric. Nope, I did not select red. There we go. Do I have a pentagram shape already? Let's see, or at least like a star that I can use as a guide. We have shapes. Hopefully there's a star shape. Yes. That's not quite the right shape of star. Objects. Nope. Symbols, maybe. Can I use this star? Okay, that this actually is in the proportions that I need. I'm mostly using it just as a guide for getting the geometry of the 5 points. There we go. Delete that. I kind of want to make some of these like pentagram flowers in stained glass now. So maybe that's something I'll do tonight. Or maybe I should let my fingers heal a little bit. I'll wait till I have the safety equipment that I want to get. Actually, you know what? Oh, I was drawing on the wrong shape. First of all, okay, here we go. That's all one shape? Okay. I'm going to duplicate it. And spin it. Okay, I gotta do some geometry. Do I want to spin it 15 degrees? Oh, that's the wrong. Where's the degrees? There we go. No. 45? 30? Almost. Oh, come on. Wait, duh. Just have to... There we go. That's what I was looking for. I am learning to play bass, and yeah, does playing a stringed instrument conflict with the damage sustained from stained glass? It sort of, yes and no. Like if I have a sort of active cut on my finger, it's really painful to play the bass, and I gotta like give it some time to heal. But actually, it's helping me develop my calluses so much quicker than playing bass alone would do. So my fingers do, as much as I'm cutting them up, they are healing like with calluses. They're stronger. They take less damage each time. Or it takes more to damage them. It takes more to hurt them. So in the end, it's gonna, yeah, I'm definitely getting calluses for sure. Like these, my index, middle, and thumb are all just like very getting some pretty thick calluses now. My pinkies are little freeloaders. They are soft, spoiled little freeloaders that don't like doing anything, and just any songs that involve me having to use my pinky a lot, fuck those songs. I'd rather play bar chords on the guitar than basically anything with my pinky finger. Ugh. Put this bigger. Yeah, I'm trying to stick with these hobbies so that I will continue to have the good calluses and not just lose them right away and have to start over again. When I was younger, I would always just like get really into playing guitar for like a couple weeks, go through all of the pain of getting calluses, and then quit for months and start it all over again. This is way too out there. Wrong shape. Oh, I did do it all on that same layer, so I can't just completely start over. That's a bit closer to how I wanted it to be. Cool. Do I want it to be a little bit smaller? I think so. Yes. And duplicate it. So I definitely drew them a little smaller on the bottom. I don't think all 3 coins need to be the same size, just so long as these 2 on the bottom are smaller in the same proportions, just to keep it symmetrical. Cool. I like all 3 of those flowers. I'm gonna place that there just in case I need to go back to it. And put a layer mask on there rather than erasing everything. fill this in with some more lines. Layer masks really help things go quickly. So I don't have to stop and erase a bunch of lines. Actually, I also really want this to be symmetrical, so what I can do is I can draw all the lines on one side and then just flip them over. Cool. Where's that? Okay, so all of these, duplicate them, flip horizontal. And there we go. Everything is symmetrical. It's pretty. I would like this window. This would be, although I feel like getting the flowers inside the surrounding glass. The one time I tried doing that so far, it was a tricky bitch. It was definitely difficult to do. But, you know, it was also my second project ever, so that also made things tricky. Just because everything was tricky at that time. All right, I think that is. Oh, we gotta draw the pattern on this piece of paper. So first, I'm gonna sketch it. Nope, come on. Don't be laggy. Let's see. Save every now and then. Nothing more heartbreaking than getting almost done with a drawing and having your computer crash and you realize you didn't save it ever at any point in the creation process. That truly is the most heartbreaking thing. Turn your computer back on and you just sit there in front of the blank document and you're just like, do I even have the energy to draw this a second time? Okay, is that the inks done? Is that all my inks? I think we've got some inks here. I think we did it. Oh boy. This was definitely a lot more complicated than the Three of Swords. For sure. By a lot. Yeah. I like this. I'm excited to start coloring this. But yeah, I'm going to take another quick break just to stretch and, you know, get my blood moving for a second. Yes. Yep. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to drink some water. Yes. Oh, yeah. Shake things out a little bit. Get blood back in all of the fingers. But yeah, you can see right down there is the Ace of Pentacles that I did before, where I put it in the middle of a flower. So that's what I'm doing with all of these. I think I'm going to do it with the whole suit of the Pentacles. But yeah, I am going to take another quick ad break just while I, you know, pee and stuff, stretch out a little bit more. But yeah, I will be right back in 60 seconds, right after these messages. I am so glad that one of the main skills I learned in high school was how to pee very quickly, because there was so little time between classes that if you had to pee, you had like 60 seconds to do it in, and I still have those skills. You learn a lot of life skills in high school. Okay, so first thing I want to color in is this hanky, because I want it to be the 69ing hanky. So it has to be like a robin's egg blue. Let me pull this up again and make sure I'm getting the right shade of blue. In fact, I'm just gonna take this and put it straight into my document and eyedropper it. So yeah, here you can see these are all of the things. There's so many different things, and yeah, worn on left, worn on right. There's so many things that you can be. Yeah. And I think this might be for, I don't know if there's one that's different for lesbians, actually. Because this all seems very, like, dude-centric. Okay. We're gonna make sure to look up lesbian hanky code. Because maybe I'm sure there's like a separate hanky code. Um, let's see. I feel like Auto Straddle would have something. Come on, give me like a lesbian hanky code that I can. Well, it looks like we're pretty safe going with like light blue for yeah. Wow, there's a lot of fun in here. So let's take this robin's egg blue. Oops, no, don't. I just want to get that out of the way. Um there. We got the right shade of blue in there for, hey, let's touch mouths with genitals. So that's the important part right there. Also going to mirror that same blue in the sky outside. Oh, such a pretty sky. Yeah, I wanna like, because of like the elements in this could vary. This guy is into 69ing, yes. But yeah, because there's so many different elements in here, um, it could very quickly become just like an overwhelming amount of colors. So I do want to keep this balanced by, there's some blue in the hanky that is mirrored in the blue of the sky, and some blue, I don't know, maybe this second person, her whole jumpsuit is that same blue. Because she's that into 69ing. She's like, one hanky wasn't enough. I need the whole thing. Also, I did not realize those white lines. I need the white lines to just go in the background. Okay. There we go. I am going to bump the saturation of this color up a little bit, though. It's not even showing. Let's go for a bit of a brighter blue. Oh, that's also a bit darker. It's just looking so dark. I want it to be saturated, but also very light. I guess the original color is good. It's good. Actually, yeah, it's good. Oh, it's also 69% cyan right there. That's perfect. Okay. So, another thing that we already know what color we're going to do, we are going to make the pentacles, yellow. Yeah, I think they did do that on purpose. Whoever chose that color for the hanky code. I feel like these pentagrams would actually be kind of tricky to do in glass because it would require a certain amount of precision to get it all, uh, you know, to fit together right. Because it's a very like mathematical shape, a lot of lines that have to be at the exact precise angles. So like this is actually really good for someone who is, you know, it's a fairly simple design. It's, you know, it's not like you know, church window kind of thing, or this is not Frank Lloyd Wright kind of glass, but it still does show a lot of skill to it. And I'm also going to put this same yellow in for the sun. Okay. I do want to give one of these gals a pink jumpsuit, just because I love my pink jumpsuit. And it'll look nice against the blue. This is more of a red. Go full. Yeah, I like magenta a lot. It's my favorite color. Ooh, just a little patch of black needs to get done. Okay. And oh, there's some blue. Right there. Okay. Collar. And what else am I gonna make pink? Maybe I'll put some pink in the stained glass. Like the flowers can definitely have pink. And I want to use pink one more time because you're also kind of, your eye will like bounce around between different things in a composition. Sometimes it bounces between uh things of like the same line weight, like it might look at all of the thick lines first and then look at the smaller detailed lines. Sometimes it jumps between like, I'm going to notice all the pink things and then I'm going to notice all the blue things. And sometimes it flows between like the objects in a scene. So having a balance of color, you know, putting a little bit, the color sort of mirrored throughout can keep a composition balanced. So maybe these boots also end up that same pink. All right. We need, let's see, because I'm trying to figure out the color story, essentially. In the Hierophant, it was all sort of sunset colors, like reds and purples and yellows and oranges. And we've got a lot of, you know, pink and yellow and orange, so we can definitely kind of keep that going here. Various shades of orange. Throw in a little purple. And one more color. Do we want a bright red? No. maybe a deeper purple? Maybe a lighter purple? Or, oh, maybe more of this orange? Trying to keep it like a cohesive color scheme, because you also, like, thinking about when I'm making glass, I also don't want to have like 50 different colors of glass that I need to buy to put in a composition. So too many colors are going to be a pain in the ass to make out of glass. Maybe I put this pink in the background, and maybe these flowers end up... They could be white. They could be white, or maybe this is a darker purple. I feel like that looks good. I think that looks good there. And so we can definitely take some of these, you know, reds and oranges and put it into the skin tones and hair that we have to depict. So let's take this sort of darker orange. Oop, missed a little bit of blue on that jumpsuit. And maybe that same darker orange in these boots. Just a little bit more of that line. Where did it go? Which layer are you on? What if I gave these Doc Martens like red sole like Louboutins? It's a pretty fun contrast. Let's see, maybe this lighter orange with this skin tone. I definitely like that light orange there. Maybe though, like an indigo or a purple might go good there though. Yeah, I like having some indigo in there. And maybe this hair is also indigo. Come on. Oh. It's kind of more of a purple than an indigo. It's violet, I guess. Second, I can add some highlights to that hair so that it doesn't get lost in the black background. Because it is getting a little bit lost right now, but some highlights. The indigo face does kind of get lost with the purple flower. So yeah, maybe these change again. Maybe these do stay pink, and maybe the indigo is here. I like that. I think that's better. Cool. Yep. Turn that off. All right. And oh, we've got this step ladder, which we can do out of maybe this darker orange color. Let's make sure that the words are still standing out against those colors. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm trying to tell if these white lines look like they denote sort of the edge of the floor, or if I should color the floor in so that it sort of anchors it. Like, I don't know, a yellow floor. Where's the... You gonna show up? Why is that not showing up? Oh, right, because I... Ooh, no, that's too bright. Maybe a different color could make this work. Let's see. No, it would only work if it was black on the bottom rather than black as the wall, but I want the wall to be black. So we're just gonna undo that. It'll be fine. I can maybe put some like perspective lines of like floorboards on there. See how I'm feeling about it. I want to get the rest colored in though. Wrong layer again. I think I want to leave this drawing as like I don't want to color in everything in this drawing, or maybe I should. Maybe I actually should. At least some basic coloring. Because it is going to mirror those same colors and reinforce the color scheme that's going on. Yeah, I think that was good. It was good to do that. I don't want to frame this in white. I do want it to have a color. I use so many colors though, I'm reluctant to bring in yet another Because I do want it to look kind of like wood. I have to find like a really saturated brown. Or maybe just like a dark, even darker purple. Or blue. What if I take this blue color and make it really dark? Not too dark because I don't want it to get lost. Cool. Actually, maybe that stays white and it's this one in the back that gets a frame. Yeah, push that to the background. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot better. Oh, we gotta figure out that hair color. Used so many colors. Probably a lighter color, like the light orange. Cool. Yeah, I think this definitely has a strong color scheme for sure. I'm actually thinking though, maybe, where's that hair color? This might just need to be a bit of a lighter purple. We've got this lighter purple in there. That, yeah, that stands out a little bit more against the background. And we can add a bit more of the darker purple low lights into it. With this, we can add some orange. And maybe some of this yellow too. Where'd that hair go? So we can add, yeah, maybe some of this pink, even though her jumpsuit is pink. Sometimes your hair just matches the clothes you're wearing perfectly. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I think, gosh, where's the window? Maybe that's just got to be orange. And this can be more of that purple color. Yeah, okay. That's a little better, which means we got to change it on here too. Yeah, now the face stands out a little bit better. Cool. I think. Fuck. Am I done? Did I just finish it? I think I finished it. Oh, cool. It looks really good. It looks really good. I'm so happy with it. One, I really want to like actually make this window now. It's maybe not something I can do right away, And I probably would like start making it and then realize that it's more complicated than I realized. At the very least, I'm going to cut some pentacle flowers. I'm gonna make an attempt. It's gonna involve some precision and some math. I probably should go buy like a ruler, actually. Um, but I think this might be inspiring for like an actual IRL project that I do. Um, Perhaps next time I hang out IRL with Gin Fizz and we can do some glass things together. But yeah, this one I think definitely has one of the like stronger color schemes that I've done because of just I kept in mind, hey, like you have a lot of different elements to color in, so definitely keep in mind how many you are using to keep the color scheme distinct. I hope it looks like the window is, you know, being put into the wall, like it's being hung up within the frame. But I feel like I accomplished what I was trying to do. And yeah, this was the first one in a while that I didn't have sort of a clear composition in my head when I started it. So I'm really proud of how this turned out. Um yeah, all I can really say is like this looks good and I'm real happy with it, and I think it definitely portrays what it's meant to portray, of just like the spirit of working on a project together. And I also actually, now that I'm thinking about this, this really does sort of show like the collaboration between like arts and crafts, which I was saying like towards the beginning of this stream, how often we see like arts and crafts as sort of two different things, and we're like very preoccupied with determining like, you know, this is an art and this is a craft, when it's actually like the two are one. It's like more of a gradient. Things can be both an art and a craft. But in this, you know, you've got the like person who designed it, who is maybe more on the side of arts, and then you have the person who actually depicted this in glass, and that's more on the side of crafts. And, you know, the arts and crafts coming together to create one thing, and art and craft are not two separate entities, that they are, you know, tied together and are stronger together when you can combine the two things. So I didn't like consciously think about that when I started drawing this. But yeah, having this blend of an artist and a craftsperson together creating one thing through collaboration is pretty neat. I like having that in there, and it just adds a little bit more depth to the meaning behind it. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I can't really like see anything that I would want to redo. It's good. I like, oh, actually, no, I just noticed I do want to pop some lipstick on this one character, matching the jumpsuit. Oops, that's the wrong. Sometimes you just gotta match your lipstick to your jumpsuit. And are we gonna have some eyeshadow? We can pop this purple in the eyeshadow. Cause I love wearing makeup while I'm doing work around the house, working with my hands, wearing lipstick. Okay, now it's perfect. Now it's perfect. We just need some lipstick. That was just the little, like, it's the finishing touch. The finishing touch. Popping some lipstick on there. Yeah. I knew there was something. I knew that there was one thing I was missing, and that was it. And now this is perfect. Now, there we go. We got it. Hooray! We did it! Thank you everyone for joining me for, having our own Three of Pentacles meeting today, coming together in crafts and arts and, the spirit of shared creativity and creating a space for, artists working together. And, how we said that, like love, creativity grows exponentially as you share it. Also, OMG, that octopus emoji. I love multi-part emojis, and I can't wait until like I have enough subscribers that I can get real crazy with some of the emojis and do like multi-part emojis. So yeah, we're at 24 out of 35 subs for the next emoji. So fingers crossed we can hit that by the end of the month. And I do the next emoji that we're gonna do is gonna be our own custom horny hammer, because some of these chats just end up real horny for some reason, and we need a bonk hammer for it that is explicitly, it needs to be gayer is basically it. We need a gay horny hammer emote for this channel, and so that you guys can take the gay horny emote out into other Twitch streams when people are being horny and gay. Horny and or gay, I guess. But yeah, so we got Tarot Tuesday wrapped up today. Tomorrow is whatever Wednesday. I'm going to be working with Infinity Photo instead of Photoshop tomorrow. Gonna sort of give a little tour of that. Hopefully we can all stop using Photoshop sometime soon and still create professional work that we can turn in and that looks polished. And I'm pretty sure that like the tarot card stuff that I'm doing is very achievable in Affinity. I just gotta check out all the brushes until I find one that matches the main one that I use in Photoshop. But I don't think it'll be too hard of a problem. I bought Affinity, like I said earlier, everything is on sale right now. I wish they would sponsor me. Maybe I'll see. Because there's so many artists who do streams using Photoshop or Procreate or something, but I don't know of any that are using Affinity. So maybe if I go over to Affinity and be like, can I get a sponsorship? I will show everyone how to work with Infinity and, get more people to use you. But until then, like, I'm not sponsored or anything by them, but it's a good company making a good product, and everything is half off right now. You can get, they make 3 programs. Each one is only $25 right now. So for $75, you can get 3 programs that will replace Photoshop, InDesign, and Illustrator. And if you're currently like subscribing to Adobe CC right now, that's like less than 2 months of subscription to Adobe, and you just get it forever. It's not like per month, it's just forever. You have the program now. And then they also have like a whole bunch of brush packs and stuff that are really cool and look really, really nice. They've got like fonts, texture packs, like all of that kind of stuff for really cheap. They're also on sale half off, so I got a bunch of those. Like for less than $100, I got 3 programs and like a couple hundred brushes to try out. So totally worth it. Absolutely 100% worth it. And I'm really excited to try that out tomorrow, do some drawing. Am gonna definitely be like taking some suggestions for doodles and stuff tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a little thing of like some like real quick 3-minute drawings, and you guys can give me suggestions for some 3-minute drawings tomorrow. So think up some ideas for something I could draw. But yeah, until tomorrow, yeah, thanks for joining me. We had a great time today. And yeah, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central, I will see you right back here for whatever Wednesday. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.